Cherokee Coffee Talk, Carpool, Candidate Edition, at-large candidate, Jim Smay. Jim, how's it going today?
Good. How are you doing?
Not bad. Well, we're just gonna...
I'm glad I don't have to sing. That's the only thing I can say.
Totally understand. Well, we're gonna get started here. We're gonna go for a drive and get to know him. So Jim, what do you think are three big things that impact at large that you see that could be brought up and brought to the table?
Well, I've been campaigning on my number one issue, which is education, and expanding what we can do through scholarship funds, through the foundation, and also setting a culture that really encourages our kids to go into STEM fields. I'm very big on STEM, obviously, being an engineering professor and all.
Absolutely.
So I think we can prioritize our spending in the area of scholarships and raise that amount. I believe right now we're at about $2,000 a semester.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, that ought to be brought up to somewhere around $5,000 to $6,000 a semester. But even that is not enough to really pay for college for those students who want to go into STEM fields. So we want to offer, I think, a program so that students can promise to come back and work for the nation, whether directly for the nation or within the district, to create jobs, take that entrepreneurial risk,
right,
and offer student loan repayment in payback for that service to the nation. So I think that's a program that we can implement. We want to grow the economy in Northeast Oklahoma so that this is an attractive place for the at-large community to come back to.
Sure.
At the same time, we need that culture to be fostered within the Cherokee Nation. I think the at-large community has dispersed all over the world, really, and we've got a lot of successful Cherokees that can act as mentors and help us set that environment so that students looking at college can team up with a mentor who perhaps works at a national lab or a successful company out in California or Texas or somewhere else, and just have somebody show them the ropes, help them make choices about what careers they might want to pursue in college and so forth.
Absolutely.
So that's a lot about education, but I think education is directly tied into delivery of healthcare services. So we need highly educated Cherokee citizens to work in the healthcare sector. That means we could follow a plan similar to what the military does. If they want great doctors, they've figured out you need to send them to medical school, pay for the medical school,
right,
and in return for paying for the medical school, get several years of service out of them back in our case, the Cherokee Nation, obviously.
Right.
I also think we need to hire well-trained social workers / case managers that can be a resource for both the in-district and the at-large citizens, so that at-large citizens can help get their health care coordinated. And the reason I say social work is that these people are trained in how to navigate the system of insurance, the systems of Medicaid and Medicare and so forth, and prescriptions. So I think they could take on a caseload where they proactively call their clients on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. Now we've got 450,000 citizens. That's a lot.
Right.
That's far more than we could handle. But the majority of our citizens are probably already insured through their employers and so forth. So we're really talking about a small fraction of the total population that would be utilizing this service.
Right.
I think in addition to that, for those people who don't have insurance through their employer or who are underinsured, we could start an insurance pool, which would give us sort of strengthened numbers, lower the cost of insurance to those people that want to participate in the program. And I expect that to be sort of a fluid group, that some people during transition from one job to another may participate in that insurance program. They may go off it once they get a job and so forth. But I think with our size population, we've got the ability to make a fairly stable insurance pool and drive down the cost of insurance. Let's see, I think that's two, right?
Yeah,
education and healthcare.
Yep.
And I think sovereignty is another issue that I'm concerned about. So our main focus, I think, in the at-large community is we want to be connected to the tribe. We want to share our culture and our language, and our sovereignty is very key in that regard, that we maintain our own language and culture.
Right.
But there's many threats to sovereignty, one of which is not keeping up with the times.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got lots of new technologies that are bearing down on us, artificial intelligence being one of the main ones that I've been very concerned about.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we need to find a way to create strategic partnerships with companies like OpenAI, Google,
Mm-hmm.
other artificial intelligence companies, so that our language is maintained in that digital space, in addition to all of the traditional language programs that we have going on.
Right.
But we really need to lean into these new technologies. I think artificial intelligence is one. I think also telehealth is another.
Mm-hmm.
And growing our economy, strengthening the environment of Northeast Oklahoma, I think strengthens our sovereignty and allows us to make better deals, better partnerships with government and private businesses.
Absolutely.
So that's a long-winded 3.